Hola, bonjour, ni hao, privyet, onomatopoeia, and a whole bunch of other greetings I'm yet to learn. Welcome to 2026. We made it. Might not always feel like it. I can appreciate those watching from all the different places currently on this planet are not maybe greeted with the same serene surroundings that I and currently you are all getting to appreciate and experience. Damn, what a beautiful world it is, though. Or what a beautiful world it can be. I know that you're watching this, if possible, from Iran, while you've got serious stakes of your lives, the day and tomorrow all at stake. But you're watching this on a phone deployed in some foreign country at war. Or like the rest of us, glued to a screen. We live in a current time that is divided. Not because we have all grown to become so different and so incompatible as the current landscape of social media would otherwise have it depicted. We are being actively, algorithmically polarized. To the benefit of a small few greedy, narrow-minded individuals. For, you guessed it, money. But not an amount of money, not a goal or a mission or an achievement, just more. More, more and more. So whether you're watching this from home, whether you are a Republican or a Democrat or any host of any other word, of any other binary systematic line by which to divide each other, know and remember that more unites us than does separate. And whether you are Jordan Peterson, still figuring out how to clean his room, or Ben Shapiro, still trying to grapple with his facts and his feelings, or a Democrat, still attempting to locate their spine, know that as bad as it all seems right now, it can only get better from here. Don't hold me to that. But I mean, shit. I'm putting my mind outside of my current environment and seeing the world the way it's being portrayed, the actions some are taking against others, against their fellow man for reasons that they neither truly care for nor fully appreciate. And know that it's not all doom and gloom, as much as it feels like that, with what we're reminded of with what's going on in the world. There are so many brave and beautiful and brilliant people that are working hard to create tomorrow, today, how we should have fucking done it, how we should have done it 50 years ago, 100 years ago. There's new technology, new designs, all looking to finally fix the mistakes we've ignored for so long. Don't let yourselves get bought in to the grift, to the grifters. They have no story beyond the tired, pedantic, sycophantic, shallow, hollow, and tired message that they have for decades. I'm saying anything at all, love yourself, love your neighbor, and together we can see tomorrow. Respect and love. Peace. So I don't know where that leaves us, but wherever it does, I'll fucking cheers to that. Because while there's still a today, there's still a tomorrow. I think. Unless tomorrow never comes, in which case, we still got the day. Oh. Like, I just don't think they get it. I think that they're so used to this political landscape just being about sort of just what story bullshit you can tell and what fuckers you can get to believe it. That when the scientific community, which just have genuine, a lot of them, the majority probably have genuine objectivity, where whilst on a personal level the pursuits they're making or the projects and the designs and the theories and the papers they're writing, they can have a personal affiliation to, but otherwise the job of science is to just follow the data. Like, that's all like, they're there to see, does 2 + 2 = 4? They're not thinking, oh, it's got to be 5. Oh, I got to how do you make the 2 and the 2? If I can make it like that, does it? No, it's just, what is the truth? What is the reality? That's what objectivity is. And I think the corporate captured right find that as so fundamentally foreign. It's just completely foreign from any kind of understanding that they have ever understood. That they're convinced that no, fuck, they're trying to slow us down, or man, they're just anti-progress. Meanwhile, the progress that the right get to experience is solely driven by science, by technology, by the factory, by the development of technology. Like, that's just it. The right have brainless idiots, and probably like the left, but the left at least want to make a society with what they've got. The right are just like, no, yeah, we'll make the society, but I mean, I fucking own it. So I mean, it's kind of the stupid man's paradox, is that you'd have to have a brain in order to be able to see how stupid you would be without then the brain. But without the brain, the stupid person can't see that they're stupid because they are too stupid to understand. And I think that's the trap that the stupid people get into, in thinking that smart people are, oh wow, they're so smart, they can just, oh, how whoop-de-doo, lucky for you to be able to do all the things that, but it comes from being wrong, majoritively. Like, there's no, Albert Einstein didn't just sort of fart one day, take a shit, and just at age whatever, kid, and just go, you know what, I think it's all relative to one another. I think it's all just a and then that was it. Like no. But that's just the thing. Stupid people assume smart people are just, oh, they're brilliant. They're aware of how brilliant they are. No. They're just aware, full stop. Next sentence, ask, perfect example, Einstein. One of the smartest people to have ever fucking lived, and sad to say, may well be, ever will fucking live. And one of his many contributions, the way life is right now, has got me thinking of an ancient Russian proverb. And it goes like this. 3 men are in some dark, freezing Russian gulag somewhere in the middle of Siberia. And one of the men says to the other, "What are you in for, comrade?" The other replies, "I spoke out against Dyatlov." The other man chuckles before being asked by that same man, "And what do you in for, comrade?" And he replies, "I spoke out in favor of Dyatlov." Both men now chuckle to themselves before they hear some whimpering as the third man starts to cry to himself in the corner. And one of those two men then asks that third man, "Comrade, what are you in here for?" And that third man turns to the other two, looks up from his pool of tears, and he says, "I am Dyatlov." Whoa. This just makes me think of how polarized the time it is for us. The parallels for modern day society. But I mean, fuck. What a prison. It's like, oh, there's another saying. There's so many sayings. Life is just one fucking saying after one fucking story after another. But here's one that comes to mind. Like, we're told that never attribute to malice what can be accomplished by stupidity. But it's like, at a certain point, at a certain scale, like, is there any fucking difference? Like, does it? When the result is a bag of shit on fire, does it fucking matter whether some guy threw it hatefully or some idiot threw it? And in which case, if there's many more idiots than there are maliceful people, then at a certain point, does it not begin to... Life is... Every entity and organism of life on this planet adheres, and simply by what is beneficial and forward thinking, adheres to symbiotic principles. This tree that these trees this hammock is attached to grow from their roots, which are facilitated and helped by fungi, which help break down further nutrients in an exchange that's then given between the two of them. The leaves of the tree, which produces the oxygen that we breathe, that then we breathe out the carbon dioxide by which it uses with sugars to then, and using energy to then make the same oxygen. We then, cycle goes on round and round. Everything that lives because other things around it that are living are also playing an exchanged game that works cohesively now and into the future. There are very few species of anything, tree or otherwise, that just decides to say, fuck it, I'm gonna do me, you do you. Like a eucalyptus comes to mind, and they're very what's called alleliopathic, which means they create in the environment of the process of their existence a very singular environment and dynamic which is only really conducive to their existence, which is a trait by which somewhat secures their prevalence and persistence. But if anybody's had, I wouldn't even say the pleasure of experiencing or wandering around a eucalyptus forest, that's kind of all you're fucking gonna get. That's just it. That's all that's there. It's just a eucalyptus tree after a eucalyptus tree after a eucalyptus tree. There's no birds that nest. There's very little ground wildlife. There's no few worms and other insect life. It's just trees. It's just the eucalyptus tree. And it's because that's the game they play. And while it works for them, it doesn't really work for anything else. The ideal scenario would then just be an entire planet full of eucalyptus trees. But even then, I think they still ultimately rely on what is the diversity of nutrients that is then shared and given, and through watering, through rain, through climate, through all of these things. I mean, otherwise, if it was the ideal, I mean, nature and natural selection over millions and billions of years, that's all there would be. And that's all there would be, is just eucalyptus trees. But we don't. We have forests and spectrums of life and wonder and... Fuck, I wonder. It's like at a certain point, man needs to realize that his limitations are a gift or a blessing as much as a perceived curse. They're here to show us and teach us lessons that we are slow and or pig-headed and unwilling to learn. Don't let this get people down. Like, it's a big world, and life is it's short, but it's the biggest and longest thing you'll ever fucking do. And that's it. That's all you get. So make it count, and don't be beaten into a meager and feckless submission. Another quote by William Shakespeare: "The coward dies 1,000 deaths, the valiant tastes defeat but once." And I don't think that should be seen as a justification. Everybody just go off, sign up to your local army, and just fucking get a gun, and your equivalent on the other side somewhere around the world would do the same, and we just go and walk into a field and shoot at one another. I don't think that's what that means. But life is a risk. It's a game of chance, a game of dice. It's everything and anything you can make of it. Speaking of, reminded of another quote which is used as a ethos and a mantra and a branding for UK Army Marines Corps is "Who dares wins." Well, I just don't think anyone's confused as to where we are headed. It's just the planet is doing its best to make that as slow a process as possible, giving us every opportunity to learn and adapt. But even with our big brains, we are slow to take up the hint. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Comment below. What does life mean to you? And what is the tomorrow that you wish to see? What is the tomorrow that you believe is worth fighting for? What is the tomorrow that is worth living for? And see what kind of agreements or disagreements we get down in the comments and discuss and debate. I think we're so tempted now with just how much sort of noise, the excess, the overwhelmment of all the information, not just that we have available, but that is parroted and pushed and peddled by all kinds and all sorts, that we just the reaction of overwhelming of stimuli is to we just bury our heads in the sand, and I don't think that's an unhealthy, there's an element of, some will say, oh, it's so fucking ignorant to just ignore the world and just focus on, but it's also so shit. It's like, when, where are the, I don't know, I'm sure I know they're happening. There's so many conservational projects and technological developments and all of these positive things that are entering our lives and developing to do so in the years to come. But it's just, we hear some fuckers dropped another bomb, some cunt, and some of the silly stuff, some cunt said this, said that, and it leaves us there's no sort of town square of just home, of just, oh, okay, well, we all sort of, we don't even agree whether the planet's round or flat, which is good, that there isn't some sort of ministry of truth that is to say what must be, but holy shit, when stuff gets, I'm reminded of an allegory, of a story. It tries to demonstrate the sort of the shortcomings of what is this fervent religious indoctrination. And it goes that you can be wandering down the street and you can have your wallet, or you can be whatever. You're just wandering down the street, and some guy comes up to you and they hold a knife against you and they say, right, give me your shit, right? And if it was just a normal person, you've got sort of two options. Your first is to sort of try and reason with the bloke, presumably, and you can sort of say, like, yo, dude, like, look, you don't want to do this, also, or you could advocate for this or that, or help in another, or whatever. You just try and reason with the person. Your second option is, provided you've got a knife of your own, you pull that out, and you've now got a bit of a dynamic of strategic mutually assured destruction, which is that, you may well, stab me or be willing to, but if you do, I'm going to get a fucking licking or two at the very least, and that's, that could leave you just as harmed, if not just as dead as you, and both of us then die bleeding in the street for what would have been the £2.50 in coins that I've got in my wallet. So good fucking luck. But then now change that scenario to a religious person, like a religious zealot. Pick your flavor. And now they approach you with that knife in the street. Now your first reason of reasoning, well, that's not going to go there, because that person believes in God, and scarily so, may even believe that God is asking or willing him to do that. And so there's no reasoning out of that. Not only that, God, he may be even believing that, and then the second option is then, fine, well, you've got your mutually assured destruction, you pull out your knife and against his knife, but that doesn't work against a specific religious zealot, because the argument would be, well, God is wanting you to do that, or God will reward you in death for your actions, or whatever you want, have you, blah, blah, blah. And so suddenly you're in a position where this fucker is either going to stab you or is willing to stab you for your shit, and it's fuck all you can do. Like, there's just, you can't reason because it's religion. There isn't a logical sort of length of thought they've gone down to arrive to the position that they're in. There isn't then just even the risk of, look, you stab me, I'm going to try fucking stab you back. There isn't even that, because, well, God is on my side. And so that's really fucked. I think moral of the story is shit, I don't know. I would say the religious person, the truly religious person, wouldn't be doing that in the first place. I can't say that I've read any Bible cover to cover, but the bits and messages from the various ones that I have all seem to portray kind, compassionate, sensitive worship, Samaritanism, and just not being too much of a greedy cunt. And so to my MAGA Americans watching this, or my MAGA religious Americans, who are, I suppose that is probably the oxymoron of all oxymorons that could be oxymoronized in today's geopolitical climate. Like, have you picked up a Bible? Like, pick up a Bible? Can you quote me a Bible verse? Religious MAGA zealots down in the comments below. Quote me a MAGA Bible. Quote. And that doesn't refer, that answers not accepted will be anything Trump has said, despite he might be your Lord and Savior, God incarnate. But, sorry, the man would be fallible in a dictionary by no other definition. I don't know, I thought... When did we become so fucking... Here's the thing. In life, we all want the same shit. We want to be able to breathe the air that we breathe, right? So that we can continue life for those next few seconds. We want to be able to afford to eat and drink so that we can live life for those few more hours, to those few more days, to see more of it. And then we want to find someone that we can enjoy our lives with for as long of it as possible, which involves finding a mate and settling down and raising a family to live those few years, decades thereafter. And that's just what every human wants. To varying degrees and to various, outlying and that's the norm. That's the game we played to be here, and that's the game that it's the only game we have going forward. Try not to let industry and corporate capture let us feel that sentiment to too much of a Handmaid's Tale's degree, but that is life. That is why you're here, that's why your parents are here, that's why your grandparents are here, and those grandparents' parents. I mean, that is just the story of life in as simple a nutshell as possible. So the fact that, there aren't, as much as whatever, there's propaganda in North Korea, he does shit, he doesn't talk to dolphins, or does, but wasn't born from a dolphin. Trump wasn't immaculately conceived and was just given as this gift to the world. No. I mean, that's it. We're humans, and we all want that. Whether you're Jewish, Israeli, or you're Arab, or you're Chinese, or you're American, or Russian, or African, or Australian. We all want the same things, and that is just to live, and live as relatively comfortable as possible. But I think, unfortunately, it's a very select few people's portfolios seem to disagree with that fundamental, overwhelming reality. And that's just sort of the problem. Most men want enough power for themselves and everybody else. But don't get me wrong, it's not all, it's not all bad from the men's side. Like, yeah, men cause a lot of the majority, probably, of the issues that we experience, having created them for ourselves. But men are also responsible for the most of the cool shit that's in your. I mean, if everybody was to honestly answer the question of look down at the screen that you're watching this on this phone or tablet or computer, and just explain, not just as succinctly as possible, but as accurately as possible. I think the majority would, if they were honest, have to answer with magic, because that's effectively what it is. This camera that I'm filming on, the degree that the software is processing the image in various different files and formats and bit rates and bit depths and color maps and spaces and GBR. I mean, it's beyond most. It's super duper complicated, and it's only a testament to the ingenuity and capability and fortitude and perseverance of the human race, of a few people working hard to achieving these goals. And so, yeah. And what men do on the global scale, women do on the smaller scale. Men typically tend to do physically, women will do emotionally and verbally. And that's the other thing to never forget. It's together we can accomplish wonders. And they never let anybody tell you otherwise. And aloha.